What is up, everybody? Last minute decision here. I want to go through the documents. Luigi, what is up? He is in New York. We all knew that. We got count one, we got count two, count three, count four. The murder of Brian Thompson. So we are looking at count one is stalking. So travel in interstate commerce. Um, from at least in or about November 24th, 2024 to in or about December 4th, 2024 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere. Luigi Nicholas Mangione, the defendant, traveled in interstate commerce with the intent to kill, injure, harass, intimidate, and place under surveillance with intent to kill, injure, harass, and intimidate another person. And in the course of and as a result of such travel, engaged in conduct that placed that person in reasonable fear of death and serious bodily injury. So look at what's up. Come on in. What is up? Here's some documents. This is the federal indictment here. United States of America. Oh boy. I didn't give a warning. I just went live. So come on out here if you guys seen the documents yet. So let's see. I want to know you guys' thoughts on this. Gary W. Cobb being duly sworn deposes and says that he is a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigations and charges as follows. So, state and federal charges just been updated. Yeah. Shalom. There you go. What's up? Oh, let's go like this. Let's go. What's up, Mama Stuff? What you been working on, girl? This won't be a long live. I'm just gonna be going through the documents. That way, if you guys are listening, sipping on some scissor, or just winding down with your loved one in front of a, I don't know, fire, curling up your toes and throwing me on the screen. We can say a prayer for you there, Amy. Definitely. Get to that holiday. Sounds good. We gotcha. I'm sorry that you're struggling there. Prayers for Amy. We got heavy docs coming our way in the Idaho 4 case as well. So, ooh. Luigi looking a little bit different, you know. I think he has like this fro going on, but then I see, I don't know. And I see this new haircut, and I think that he had some brothers up in the prison helping him with that haircut. It looks all nicely faded around perfectly. So, anybody else see that, or is it just me? Luigi's selfie days are over. Yeah, didn't they, Allison? They totally hooked him up. Somebody hooked him up. Luigi must have heard your comment about his brows because his brows look cleaned up too, right? I'm telling you. Somebody freshened him up. But he does look different. I mean, right? Maybe it's just like a prison thing, or like once you get arrested, everybody like just looks different. I mean, look at him like when he's got his like suit and tie on, and I don't know. I just don't know. Amy says none of this case makes any sense. People have it twisted out there. If anybody says that I think Luigi is innocent, or that he didn't do this, no, you are innocent until proven guilty. Okay. Do I think if everything what they were saying and holds true? I mean, let's take a look at the papers. But and no, I don't cover cases where a prosecutor has it in the bag. Those are boring cases. They don't need help. So just to set everybody straight with that, that's just wild talk. Like, I'm not going to cover a case that it's like, you know how hard it was to cover Sarah Boone? Sarah Boone's a complete fucking mess. Anyways, so we got murder, we got stalking. Then they talk about the fact that, hey, he used our busing. He used a cell phone. We're gonna get to that here. Murder through use of a firearm, and count 4 is firearm offense. Then the murder of Brian Thompson. So let's go right to that. So I am a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation and am assigned to the FBI's Violent Crimes Task Force. I have been personally involved in the investigation of this matter. So he's basically saying that these are things that I've either learned myself, learned with other people in this investigation, and so where the contents of the documents and the action statements and conversations of others are reported herein, they are reported in substance and in part, except where otherwise indicated. And then this is a very interesting, the last federal documents I think I kind of ran would be like the Sandra Birchmore case, where I felt that they used, something like this, like they used a portion of her text messages, and then Matthew Farwell going into the apartment, things like that. So, but here we go. So it's based on two things, based on his involvement in the investigation, and then what other people obviously have reported in their reports and reported to him. So then he's putting this together. They went through hours of surveillance security cameras. Like, they collected hours and hours and hours, hundreds of hours. They use the word hundreds, so we're going to pay attention to that. The Uptown Fate in prison, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. Boone should have taken the deal. Boone's a fucking moron. Okay, I don't even know why the state wanted to give her that deal. Insanity, if you ask me. On December 4th, here we go, at approximately 6:45 a.m., Brian Thompson. Wait a second. Okay. Making sure I had the right page number. On December 4th, 2024, at approximately 6:45 a.m., Brian Thompson, the victim and the CEO of a nationwide health insurance company, they are leaving out the company, was shot and killed by a masked assailant, and they're going to call that the shooter, while walking on West 54th Street toward a hotel in Midtown Manhattan. So they're leaving out all the names, so they're just referring to the Hilton as the Midtown Hotel. They're referring to the shooter as the shooter, the company. So where a company was holding an investor conference was scheduled to begin at 8 a.m. As discussed below, the shooter was later identified to be Luigi Nicholas Mangione, the defendant. Security camera video showed the shooter, who was wearing a gray backpack, and that's going to be called the gray backpack, come from between two parked cars, walk up behind the victim, and shoot the victim in the leg and back outside of the Midtown Hotel's entrance on West 54th Street. See? Outside. You guys, this is wild. Anybody that was telling me that this is not an entrance. It is an entrance. But he passes the entrance, if you guys recall. The firearm the shooter used appeared to have a sound suppressing device or silencer attached to the front of its barrel. A still image from the security camera video of the shooting is provided below. Here we go. Law enforcement personnel who responded to the scene of the shooting recovered, among other items, spent 9mm shell casings and at least one round of live 9mm ammunition. Also, I want to talk about how he was shot. They're just mentioning the leg and the back. So I'm curious. We saw how they were working on him, um, with the medics and stuff. They were attempting to give like life-saving measures. They don't talk about him shooting him in the head, so he just shot him in the back and just left him there. They don't talk about how many times or anything like that, but okay. And this is the image that we've all seen. Law enforcement personnel who responded to the scene of the shooting, again, like I said, the 9mm shell casings, and it was deny, delay, and depose. But I'm going to read this very specifically because it says the words deny, delay, and depose were written on the side of the sum of the shell casings. I don't understand, because I'm starting to think that deny, delay, and depose were all three on each bullet. Or, think about it. Think about how that's worded. I think they messed up a little bit there, but were written on the side of the sum. Were written on the side of some. I don't think that is supposed to be there, but that's just me. So, responding law enforcement personnel also recovered a cell phone in the vicinity of the location where the shooting had occurred. Based on my participation in this investigation, my conversations with other law enforcement officers, my examination of documents, and he goes on, through that spiel. This is the following timeline of the shooter's movements from November 24th up until December 4th. I was expecting to get like this sweet timeline. You guys, spoiler alert, this is just everything that we've known. There's nothing in here that I did not know. So on November 24th at approximately 10:11 p.m., the shooter arrived in New York City on that bus. Okay. The bus originated in Georgia. The shooter took a taxi to the area around Midtown Hotel. Now, I'm guessing that the taxi was paid for in cash, because why else would you? So I'm guessing that they were able to, so they went back and looked at surveillance cameras. But I would think that would be cash. Otherwise, that's just real dumb. But then the shooter goes to the Midtown Hotel first, like we knew, and stayed in the area for approximately 1 hour before taking another taxi to the hostel located at the Upper West Side. And then the shooter registered at the hostel under the name Mark Rosario and provided a false New Jersey driver's license. Take a look. So nothing here is we've known it all. C, I was right. I put all my money in my basket here. When the shooter was checking in at the hostel, the desk clerk asked the shooter to remove the mask. There was no flirting, like I said. Okay. He had to check in and he had to remove his mask. So no flirting. This is a lie. And it was at check-in time, like I said. So points for TNT. Which he did, revealing his face to a security camera as shown. We knew. Other than this interaction with the desk clerk, the shooter consistently kept his mask on. So there was no flirting. Okay. Everybody who's putting that out there, like, what a bunch of fucking idiots. It's the same people that put out Oh, Brian said how many people got arrested or who else got arrested? Mainstream media spreading lies. So he never took off his mask. December 4th. On December 4th. So when they say they're going to do like this timeline, okay, so November 24th to December 4th. Where's this? What was he doing there? Like, you guys just gave us literally 2 hours on this day. Okay. And we're about to see, like, I think 1 hour on this day. And then in PA at McDonald's. Okay. This is about an hour. There you go. Where's any of the stalking in here? How did they get stalking out of this probable cause? Anyways, on December 4th, 2024, at approximately 5:35 a.m., the shooter left the hostel wearing the gray backpack and rode an electric bicycle. So, remember that video of somebody coming out of like the substation? That wasn't him because he rode his electric bike down Central Park West to a location near the Midtown Hotel, as shown below. So he's over here, and then he's over here. At approximately 5:41 a.m., the shooter walked around the area of the Midtown Hotel and at one point purchased items from a nearby coffee shop. The shooter then returned to a bench. Why mention that? To a bench. You mention it because it's important. What did they get off the bench? No mention of the wrapper or what was it? No mention of a wrapper. No mention of your bottle of water and your fingerprints, and no mention of any of that shit. Okay. So, in the vicinity of the Midtown Hotel, on at least one occasion prior to the murder, the shooter was depicted using a cell phone. Why is that important? What's important for what? It's important for stalking. Surveying is stalking. Next up, at approximately 6:45 a.m., after waiting near the Midtown Hotel for approximately 1 hour, the shooter saw and approached the victim, shot the victim multiple times, and then fled on foot to West 55th Street, where the shooter mounted, I love the word mount me, bitch, mounted the electric bicycle and rode towards Central Park. After disappearing inside the park for a period of time, we noticed that the shooter was captured on video again exiting the park near West 77th. So that, again, everything that we've known. And riding north on Central Park West. When he emerged, though, from the park, the shooter was no longer carrying the gray backpack. Dude, this is way too. So here's this. And you can see there's the backpack. And then they're saying here's this. And there's no backpack. At approximately 6:58, so this is crazy though. At approximately 6:58, if you look at this, so 6:45 was the shooting. Security camera footage captures the shooter riding the electric bike near West 85th Street because it was coming out, um, and Columbus Ave. Yay, Columbus. 2 minutes later, then, so 6:58. So then 2 minutes later would be 7 a.m. He ditches this bike, but there's no mention of this bike being, like, I mean, was it found? But so then at approximately 7 a.m., the shooter was captured on video walking near West 86th. So I'm surprised that they didn't use, like, where's this video? Because they've shown all these videos, or like these little snapshots, okay? This is the first one that we get to. Well, there's 2. They don't show, so I want to show you guys something. When they're doing these pictures like this, right? The first time we get to something where they could have shown a picture would have been, they don't use any pictures here to show that he was in the hotel, nor a cab that they could have used. Then, so the first picture that we get, the shooting, but then it goes into, here's the timeline. So this is the fake ID. So they had an opportunity to try to snatch up that taxi photo on the 24th. We don't see that. Then they had a chance to snatch up the hotel surveillance camera when he was, surveying the Midtown, which is the Hilton. They had an opportunity to put a picture in there. They don't do it. Then an opportunity then to take a cab to the hostel. They didn't do it. Okay. They could have had him at the bus station. They didn't do it. Then they have him at using the fake ID. Then they use this photo for checking in. Then we go right to December 4th. So then there's no photos of him November 25th through December 3rd. Okay. Now, based off of our reporting here, December 1st is a Monday, right? He arrived on the 1st and it was on the 3rd, right? Or he arrived on the 2nd, it was on the 4th. And when I say he, Brian. So I'm surprised that they're not going to use any of these dates to say where he was, but we'll see. So then they show, again, here's an opportunity to use it. They talk about this Starbucks. So 6. Again, where's the video from the 86th Street? Surprised they don't use that. At approximately 7:04, the shooter enters a taxi, and they use that right here. And he drives to the George Washington Bridge bus, and that's at 179th Street. The shooter's face was captured by a camera in the taxi. At approximately 7:30 a.m., video from the George Washington Bridge bus terminal captured the shooter entering the facility. We've never seen that. No video footage showed the shooter leaving the bus terminal, so suggesting, they use the words suggesting that the shooter left New York. It's interesting, you don't know if he left. Did he leave? Then 2 days later, on December 6th, law enforcement officers searching Central Park found a gray backpack just laying there. Okay. And it appeared to be the appearance of the gray backpack worn by the shooter. Then, based on my participation in this investigation, the conversations with others, on December 9th, at approximately 9:14, a worker at a fast food restaurant. They don't even say McDonald's. They're like, fuck that. We're not going to call anybody out. So, um, who thinks Diddy is innocent? Got a lot of victims coming forward on that Diddy shit, right? So, Pennsylvania, a male customer later identified as Luigi Nicholas Mangione, the defendant, because this person, the defendant who the worker believed, I'm talking about the worker. So here the worker believed resembled the photos of the shooter. But here I thought it was the person that was the customer, right? It had been broadcasted, and hey, you know what? We think that this guy looks like him. Come on down. None of that sounds right. Um, where's the McDonald's footage, man? I want to see that body cam. I cannot wait to see the body cam. Can we get the body cam on that? Members of the Altoona Police Department responded and encountered. Um, I have a question for you guys. What if he would have given his regular ID? What would have happened if he would have given his regular ID? Anybody? What do you guys think? I've been thinking about this, but what if he would have given his regular ID and he doesn't give this, like his, oh, what's his ID say? Mark Rosario. But what if it would have said Luigi Nicholas Mangione? What do you think about that? It wouldn't have matched, the ID of the person in New York. What do you think about that? I'm just curious of where it would have led to, you know? So, when approached by responding officers and asked for identification, Mangione offered the false New Jersey ID used by the shooter to check into the hostel. Mangione was later found to be in possession of a loaded 9mm pistol and silencer consistent with the weapon used to kill the victim. Clothing that matched the apparel that the shooter wore in the security camera videos, a notebook that they're calling them the notebook. So look at this though, was later found to be in possession of a loaded and when they say like in possession of clothing, so it wasn't the clothing that he had on, he just kept the clothing that he killed a man in. Hmm. So the notebook is this like spiral notebook, and then several thousands of dollars in cash. They don't talk about like different types of currency. They just say like $1,000 in cash. Um, would you refer to like foreign currency as different if you were to like be writing about this? Would you write several $1,000s in cash? You're saying the word dollars. There's no mention about current like foreign currency. So this wouldn't be considered like this. This can't encompass the foreign currency because you're writing dollars, right? So, um, so several thousands, several $1,000s in cash, an envelope associated with an FDIC insured bank, and a letter addressed to the feds. To the feds. The feds letter, better known as now. The 9mm pistol and silencers were later tested. And guess what? Found to be operable. And guess what? They said it's a match. But that's the pictures. Oh, maybe did that. Oh, here we go. This was the best part of the this page right here, the last page here. 9. The notebook contains several handwritten pages that express hostility towards the health insurance industry and wealthy executives in particular. Wealthy executives, plural. For example, the notebook contained the following statements and entries that appear to correspond to particular dates. So you guys know I love dates. 8/15, so August 15th, 2024. Now my question is, are you just putting the 24 on there yourself? Because if it just said 8/15, whatever. The notebook described how the details are finally coming together, and I am glad in a way that I've procrastinated because, like BC, because it allowed me to learn more about acronym for company. Why wouldn't you just write the acronym? Really weird. The notebook entry also stated that the target is insurance, like that's in quotes, because it checks every box. What the fuck? United Healthcare, so it's like UNC, like that, UHC, or was it like this? What's the stock symbol? Okay, and then 10/22, so they're saying it's October 22nd, 2024. The notebook stated. You guys see how it says the notebook stated? Like they can't assign it to him. They're saying the notebook stated. The notebook described. $1.5 months. That just says like 1.5 months, period. This investor conference is a true windfall. ... And most importantly, the message becomes self-evident, period, end quote. Later on in the entry, the notebook describes an intent to whack the CEO of one of the insurance companies at its investor conference. As described above, October 22nd, 2024 was approximately 6 weeks before the date of the murder of the victim. What else was going on October 22nd? Okay, and then 8/15, 2024. I want to know if that's truly the 2024, if it was 2023. You could have a notebook for like a long time. Anyways, the Fed's letter recovered from Mangione said, I wasn't working with anyone. Check. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, a lot of patience. Based on my own research, I believe that CAD refers to computer aided design. The Fed's letter also stated, in quotes, P.S. You can check serial numbers to verify this is all self funded. My own ATM withdrawals. Based on all of the above, my review of photographs of the shooter, like his back, like which one? This one? This is the one that you used. This is the one that you used in the probable cause. There you go. I was expecting to see like something else, but my review of photographs of the shooter and my review of arrest photographs of Luigi, the defendant, I respectfully submit that Mangione is the shooter who shot and killed the victim on December 4th, 2024. No DNA is in here. No fingerprints. You guys think about that. Again, he thinks that he is the shooter who shot and killed the victim on December 4th. Additionally, the notebook entries, the Fed's letter, the shooter's apparent surveillance of the Midtown Hotel on November 24th. He was surveying the place on November 24th for like an hour. He just wanted to see where the ballroom was. I mean, come on. I'm the only mod that matters. What's up? What can I help you with? Why are you messing with the mods? They be sleeping, listening. They be lurking in the back. Thank you there, James. James, what's good? Hi, honey. Good to see you. Mwah. This is wild to me. It was crazy. So, okay. So we have, based off of this person being apparent surveillance of the apparent surveillance of the Midtown Hotel, but he shot him outside the hotel. So why do you have to survey inside the hotel to shoot him outside the hotel on November 24th and December 4th? Wait, so he's saying he surveyed the Midtown Hotel on the 24th and then the 4th. And the shooter's use of the counter surveillance techniques and escape from New York City all suggest that the shooter undertook extensive efforts to identify the victim, place the victim under surveillance. How? He wasn't there on November 24th. How did he place him under surveillance by going to the Hilton Hotel on the 24th? You're leaving out any type of surveillance of him and track the victim's whereabouts in the time period leading up to the murder. What the fuck are they talking about? In here, the shows there is no surveying Brian Thompson in here. How are they getting stalking? Like, where is there any stalking in here? No offense, but writing "I want to whack somebody" in a fucking notebook isn't stalking them. Y'all understand that, right? You just can't, just because I write "I'm gonna whack somebody" at a. He doesn't say he's gonna whack him at the conference. Would that be considered stalking somebody? I just think that that's a threat. That's crazy. Mm. As far as stalking, hard to prove Brian was in fear of his life. Brian didn't even know about it. What is up, Kevin? Kevin from South Boston. I'm good, Kevin from South Boston. Weren't you on that Karen Reed case over there? Maybe scoping out the Hilton and then waiting around for him. I don't know about that. You guys, let me tell you something. Then everybody that goes and tries to meet up with Hollywood stars or, hey, I know so and so is going to be at so and so at a place. I mean, is that stalking? So you would never be able to go and get it. Okay, let me just put it to you this way. In Ohio, there is no way in hell that you'd be able to go and get a protective order against somebody for civil stalking by saying that somebody saw on a public website you were going to be somewhere and they went there. Okay. That you would never get a protection order for civil stalking. So I just don't see the stalking part. Yeah, that's not stalking. I think he just was intending to kill him. I don't think he was stalking him. Oh no. It's very interesting, right? I get stalking out of this. I'm just going based off of the statute from what you have to do to prove it. Like, there is no way in hell I could go into the Ohio courts and be like, "Hey, I'm filing for a protective order for someone that's stalking me." Okay, what are they doing? Um, they were waiting for me outside of a building. Why isn't this just called, like, I don't know. Why isn't it just called premeditated murder? Wouldn't this just be premeditated murder? Feds added the stalking to make it different than the same state charge, possibly to avoid double jeopardy. I don't know. Something's weird with that. So and track. So also you just have to like show that. Okay, so like and track the victim's whereabouts in the time period leading up to the murder. Where is any of that said in here? Below are surveillance stills of the shooter and an arrest photograph. Look at this guy. He's basically saying he looks like him, so we're arresting him. That's what this is basically saying. But where's the DNA? Where's the fingerprints? Remember all that shit? They don't got that stuff back yet? Oh, okay. Let that sink in. Oh, and then there's the shooter inside the taxi again. I don't know. I just would charge him with so there you go. Yeah, exactly, Kate. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, right there at the end, it's just it's how are you just gonna say, okay, and I'm just gonna write this here at the end, my number 9. I mean, number 9 to me is wild. That's a lot of just like, and I just tried to point out earlier, you're taking these pictures and you're putting them in here where you're supposed to put them in. Okay, like here we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this. Because clearly you don't have DNA. Clearly you don't have fingerprints. All right. I would think that the ballistics would be enough with the gun. I mean, why the fuck is any of this else, needed? But because they want to get him on these other charges. But this number 9 right here, I have a huge problem with number 9. Number 9 to me is so far gone because everything that you're saying right here, you should have been doing what you've been doing all in here and taking these little pictures and putting them underneath. And it's just not there. But the jury of his peers will decide. Yeah, and I think a lot of people, I think this is going to be a hung jury, man. And I think, I don't know how I feel about that. I just want to see the evidence because, yeah, I don't think you should go around killing people. I think that if this guy had killed him, I don't think that, it should be a hung jury because people are like, I fucking hate the insurance companies. Everyone's going to have an issue on this jury. A family member is going to be denied. You know what I mean? Nobody from United. It's just going to be wild. If this goes to trial, it's going to be one wild case. Luigi and Sean Diddy Combs are locked up in the same prison, according to CNN, getting the same treatment. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I bet you Diddy's all about this pretty boy. He's like, man, can I sign you to a record deal, baby? Let me see what them lips look like. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize my mic was on. Lana, did you get my whole Luigi day? Leaving PA in transport plane. And yep. Yeah, I saw all that. Kevin from South Boston says they should release Luigi with time served. They should release Karen Reed and put you in there instead. put you on trial instead. All right, guys, I just wanted to lay out these papers. We're going to go over them tomorrow. But run it back, see what's up. I think these are wild. I think number 9's off the charts. I think number 9 is just off the living charts. What was Luigi doing there from November 24th until December 3rd? What was he doing every day? I'm gonna go watch a Christmas movie. I'll set a reminder for you guys. Join me tomorrow morning. Let's get it on with Luigi. Brian, it's okay. I don't always ignore you. I see you. You're blowing up the chat. I see you. You're fine. Thanks, Kate. Thanks to the rest of everybody that's paying attention. Murky, love you. Peace out. Peace out, Diddy. Oh, love you, Lana. Love you. All right, guys. Bye-bye now.